Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's edition of Life in 15. Hope you had a great weekend and a great start to this week. I am Billy Reddy and I am a professional Christian counselor and a professional life coach. And each week I try to share some things that I hope are helpful. Thank you for all of the input and all the encouragement that you have given me. Today I want to look at 5 ways to respond to a critic without being controlled. Criticism, I'm starting to learn it's inevitable. How we respond to it can make a huge difference for our lives and the other person's life. I once heard a seasoned pastor, that's my way of saying he was on up in years, he said this: if your critics control you, you're defeated. So I want to give you 5 ways to respond to a critic without letting them control you. First thing is, remember to respond to the criticism in your own time. I read a Christian businessman, he said that he had applied James 1:19 to his life, and that goes, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. I think if we're the first two, quick to listen, slow to speak, we'll be slow to become angry. At the beginning of every meeting, he wrote the initials, these initials at the top of the notebook pad. QTL, which is quick to listen, STS, slow to speak, and STA, slow to anger. And I want to talk to you about how do we apply QTL, STS, and STA when we face criticism. One of the first things to do is ask, is the critic, am I giving them control of my response clock? We shouldn't. It's almost always your choice of when and how to respond in a given exchange. Second thing, maintain your composure. You display wisdom when you learn to hold your tongue. It is to a man's honor to avoid strife, but a fool is quick to quarrel. That's in Proverbs 20, verse 3. You may buy yourself some important time by saying to the person, could you clarify your concern for me? And then I want to put some thought into it. It's a good way to buy yourself some time. Another way is don't obligate yourself to respond at a later time unless you think it's absolutely necessary to do so. You may not need to respond at all. You can respond on the spot, later, or not at all. Don't give the wheel to the critic. Let Jesus keep it. A second thing about making quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger, respond positively. Affirm the critic's valid concerns, and some valid concerns exist usually. State your own concerns positively. And it's not necessary to validate the criticism itself. Here's some practical things. Try this. Thank the person for their concern for you. Whether they meant it as a concern for you or not, thank them for it. Tell them, number 2, tell them you will consider their concerns and pray for wisdom. It's not tell them you're going to do what they say. You're going to consider it. And a third thing to do, if the critic's concerns are offered in a caring way, invite them to bring future concerns to you. This will throw them off guard, even if their concern is not out of compassion. Speaking positively is not shrinking back from confrontation or need to rebuke the critic. It's remembering that kind word turns away wrath. Number 3, take it to the Lord. Anxiety many times follows quickly on the heels of criticism. A great way to take it to the Lord is to consider the promises of the Bible. When it comes to criticism, let me give you some verses. Psalm 46:10, Isaiah 41:10, John 16:33, Romans 8:31 and through 39. Are your critics maliciously lying about you? Look at Psalm 62 and look at it as your close companion. Now you can come back and watch this. I know I went fast. A fourth way to handle critic is consider it with a wise counsel. Sometimes criticism does contain a kernel of truth here and there. We're being wise when we are discerning, prudent, and we learn and grow from it. Proverbs 9:8-9 says, rebuke a wise man and he will love you. Instruct a wise man and he'll be wiser still. Let me explain. Counselors such as respected colleagues or trusted friends, a discerning spouse, a godly parent, they will help us know when and how to respond to criticism. Even if we disagree with the counsel, the Lord can use the process of thinking through the situation with other people to help us. Let me give you 2 final quick suggestions for handling criticism. First of all, there is no law that says you have to defend yourself except in a court of law. And I thought about that. We even then have the Fifth Amendment if you feel your response is not going to help the situation. You don't have to respond to every criticism. Sometimes you can just say, well, isn't that something? I say that a lot. Then the last, I guess you'd call it kernel of advice, is it is not always right or to the relationship's best interest to continue it. There are a couple of places I meant to write these down and read them, but I didn't. So you can look these up in 1 Corinthians 5, 7, and 1 Timothy 1 and 20. Go to God and see what he says about the situation. Certainly, Jesus faced criticism. Go back and look at some of the ways that he faced criticism. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you can share it with other people and share it and like this. Follow my YouTube channel, and I will look forward to being with you next Tuesday. God bless you and have a good day.